Welcome to the home of the DIY movement, where we build stuff and paint things.
All right, y'all, welcome back. It is Way Back Wednesday, man. I missed last week. It's been a busy May. I didn't have time to do a way back, but we're back at it. Might be some background noise. I'm sitting outside in the shop right now doing this. So you might hear some birds chirping. But I'm gonna start this video off with these two emblems right here, man. I've had these emblems probably like almost 20 years, right? I've lost and found these things like 3 or 4 different times. Like I put them away in a spot that I know where I could find them. And then a few years later when I'm like, oh man, I forgot I had it. I'm gonna go try and find it. And then I can't find it. And then you turn the house upside down looking for it. And then you finally find it. And then you put it in a spot and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna forget this time. And then 5 years later, you look for it again. Well, when the 60 was done, the bottom one, the Lonestar one, man, I wanted to put it on the car, right? Because I've been holding on to it for a while, and it's original, and I got it re-chromed. But with the 60s, there's really no place to put it, like most people put it on the trunk of like 64, 63, 62, but like 60, 59, 60, 61, there's really no place to put these dealer tags, right? That looks good, or it looks like it might have came, there on the car. So I didn't, and I held on to it, and then I got it gold plated. Now it's on the Cadillac. And then the top one that says Dallas. I'm not from Dallas. I've never lived in Dallas. So, man, I gave it to a guy. That I've met a few times, talked to a few times from the channel or whatever, Instagram and all that. Real cool dude, paint and body guy. And I just sent it to him, man. I just said, man, I'm never gonna represent this because I'm not from Dallas, but you are. So I gave it to him. So that's how we're gonna start this video, man. Lost and found. Where we last left off on the 61. I picked it up and I said in the last video I was going to show the pictures that the guy sent me or that were on the eBay listing. I just had to dig them out. This right here is the driver's side roof rail to quarter panel on a 61, man. And this is an important picture. If you guys are out there looking at, bubble tops to buy or whatever, usually this is where they're going to rot. And this one was like bone dry, man. Original paint. You can see the original ermine white. And it looks like they primed it with the trim on. And then you got a back seat in there. Back seat's kind of crucial. Those are available. Front seats are kind of crucial. I mean, pretty much everything could be found. But the more complete you can get a car, the better, because all this little stuff adds up. Like that back seat upper. Man, first off, you got to find one, and then you might have to drive 2 hours to go get it. That's gas and time. Then you might have to pay anywhere from $50 to $250 and then drive back. So really, in turn, the whole thing costs you $400. So the more stuff you can get when buying a project, the better. Another important picture right here is that windshield gutter. Man, if these things are rusted out, I've always said, man, if the roof of a car is rusted out, no shade thrown at Bobby, but if the roof of a car is rusted out, it's probably not a good car. Sometimes you don't know it's rusted out until you dig into it. But like I say, this guy provided these pictures, so I was like, man, that's a win right there, man. Just the way that wiper cowl fits to the fender, looking good. Looks like it's still got the original rubber on the instrument cluster for the dash. That's good. That's good to know. Of course, we're assuming here it may not be original, but just we're assuming that it's original because it's got the original white paint under where all the stainless and windshield was at. So this is another crucial part when looking at these cars is the windshield gutters, the back window gutter, and where the roof meets the quarter panel. Here's a picture. Looks like passenger side floor brace. You know, when I'm looking to buy a car, I want to see floor braces like that and floor pans in bare metal. There's a little bit of undercoating right there in the top right, but for the most part, the rockers and the bracing and the floor pans and that reinforcement on the floor pan is dry. You know, so many times these guys, these car flippers, which I didn't buy this from a car flipper. This guy, you know, he bought it to restore it. He just ran out of time. A lot of times these guys will say rust in the usual spots, but they've never repaired rust in the usual spots, or they don't even know what that means. It just rolls off the tongue so easily. It's got rust in the usual spots, which means it's not hard to fix. And I'm thinking, well, if it's not hard to fix, why don't you fix it, make it solid, then sell it? You know, but that's too much work. Here's another, you know, floor brace to rocker shot. You know, no undercoating. You know, looks dry, man. When I saw these pictures, I was getting excited. And here's another one of the passenger rocker, and I believe the rockers were replaced. I mean, obviously there's some tax there, but they did a good job and everything fit good. So I was like, okay, I mean, work has been done, but as long as the work looks good and doesn't look, you know, fit overall, you're looking at the fit. You know, if people have replaced the rockers, then you want to see how they fit with the door and, you know, to the quarter and that whole gap right there. That's really what you want to look at. You don't really care that it's been replaced, but you want to know, or you want to see after it's replaced how the overall fit is. You know, here we are, driver's side rocker has been replaced. You know, you see a lift there, so you would assume that it's been done, you know, professionally, or at least, you know, the right way. Rear window gutter, like I say, original paint. That's original rear package tray. It hasn't been all cut up, hacked out. So man, I was getting excited. You know, it's got the holes for the rear scallop. 2 scallops on a 61, 1 on a 62, but you know, I was like, man, damn, why hadn't this car sold? Like, it's been listed like 3 different times and never sold. This looks like passenger side drop off quarter panel of the trunk. You know, that's what you want to see, man. Pretty much, you know, clean metal, not a bunch of stuff, not a bunch of undercoating. Trunk gutters, or see original white paint. You know, basically what I see when I'm looking at these cars to buy or to assess for people, you know, or people send me pictures of, well, what do you think about this? Or the way I look at it is like, okay, what color you want to paint the car? You want to paint it red? Okay. Imagine what you see right here in red paint. Like, would it look the same, or does it need all this work and all these parts and all this repair before red paint? Or would it look pretty good as is red paint? And that'll tell you, you know, where you're at. And looking at this gutter, I'm thinking, okay, it's like 3 or 4 different colors, but if it was all one color, shit, it would look good. So, you know, never mind that you got a grill in the trunk and the headlight bezels, and you got side panels, and you got upper grill. You have all these parts in the trunk that you may use or you may not use. If you don't use and you want to go new or whatever, you can always sell what you got to recoup some money. But I would say OEM is you know, probably better if you're going to re-chrome and all that. But so this is a good picture. You see a solid trunk gutter. You see a solid tail panel. You see original white paint under the trunk and under the trunk gutter. And then you see a trunk full of parts. So I'm like, yeah, I want this car, right? Like, that's a good car. Driver's side trunk drop off. You can see at the bottom there, looks like the quarter panel's been welded. So patch panel's been, you know, utilized. And I'm okay with that as long as the work is done all right. I mean, because imagine if you were to find a 61, you know, bubble top that has original quarters that doesn't need rust repair. I mean, you're going to be paying in the high 20s for it, and that's that's being generous, you know. Like to have a car that has original sheet metal, that means a lot. It just depends on what direction you want to take the car. If you're going to customize it and do this painted underneath and all that, it really doesn't matter if it's original sheet metal. They're selling you a dream. Now, if you're going for some concourse restoration to make it look like, or to make it back how it was when it was delivered from the factory, then original sheet metal is a big deal. But if a car has had metal work done, and you're going to customize it and color it and all this and that, then it's not that crucial of a point. So now we get into all the free stuff, what I consider free stuff, because I feel like the price that I paid for the car was already a good deal. So anything else that comes with it is great. Tubular trailing arms, had a chrome hood latch there. 4-piece tubular trailing or control arms, which I don't really like those. They seem kind of like the ball joint stretches a lot. These are Eldorado brake calipers for the rear. They work, but you do have to shave them down if you're going to run wire wheels or even stock wheels, I believe. But they do work. I've ran them a couple times, and I mean, hey, new in the box, you know, like more parts. When you start seeing stuff that has CPP labels on it, hey, you can pretty much assume they paid some money for that, and it's probably a pretty good part. So bonus. Looks like rear disc brakes to go with those Eldorado calipers. Kind of run-of-the-mill stuff, but hey, at least it's complete. So I'm just adding this stuff up in my head as he's sending me these pictures. And I'm like, man, this guy's got like $3,000 worth of stuff that he's giving me, all in the boxes, you know, like a transmission mount, LS swap engine mount. I mean, that's a few $100. Like, all this stuff came with the car. And then, you know, a picture right here, you know, showing everything lined up. And I'm looking at these and I'm like, man, this, you know, like I say, it's like $3 or $4,000 plus this, plus that. If I don't use it, I can sell it, get some money back. So now that means I got the car for like 10 or even 9 maybe, or, you know, I'm just doing this math in my head, and I'm thinking that, you know, the more I see, the more I like, which is, you know, why I bought the car. 62 aluminum rocker moldings, man. I remember when these things were like $50 a pair, and yeah, people put them on 64, 63s, 61, 62. They were like $50 a pair, man. Now they're like, I don't even know, like $2 And then when you try and put them on, if you don't have the right clips or you don't have the right size hole and you try and force them on, you're going to put an Audi in the molding. I know, because I've done it. And then you got to buy another one. If you know, like, these things are made out of, like, I don't know, man, probably like a dozen Coke cans. And I'm not a fan of them. I really like the stainless ones that are made now. They make them to fit different years. But these are pretty much 62 rockers, rocker moldings. And I mean, people put them on 63, 64, but they're not correct. They're for 62 only. But hey, they're brand new, like in the wrapper. So, you know, I'm just doing all the math in my head. Couple pictures here from the eBay listing. You know, I'm thinking, man, at least it's a roller. You know, it's complete. It's got the doors and hood on. Not only that, but it's got the Coker Fat white walls, which is like a bonus already. You know, I mean, those are like $600. So, you know, I'm just thinking, okay, well, this guy's got a lot of money tied up into it, and he's probably just kind of wanting to unload it. Might be in the way, just trying to get out from under it. So the first thing we did when we got it home, or when I got it home, was took it off the frame. And what's crazy is, man, driving home, you know, we didn't even really stop to think, but when we got it home, I don't think that thing had any of the body mounts in it. I think it might have had one in the front, or the bolts holding it down. So it was just the weight of the body and the weight of the parts inside the car that was that was holding the body down on the frame, because I strapped the frame down. So crazy, man. But first thing we did, shave the firewall. That's Bobby right there. I got him on firewall duty. And like I say, man, you're seeing, you know, original white paint on the doors. You're seeing original white paint in the windshield gutter, and of course we're shaving the firewall. And you know, I have the template, which is, you know, what I offer on the website for 6162 based off of this car. So, you know, we're doing our thing to it, and the rotisserie looks pretty new right there, man. Right now it looks like crap. It's been sitting outside, but it's kind of a throwback picture. And Bobby looks, you know, like he's wearing his PPE. If you guys been watching the channel this whole time, you guys remember when I had this little addition built to the shop. So the reason why we did this, or why I did this, or why I had this done, I should say, is after the blue 64 paint job and body work that was done in the what I call the big shop. Man, you know, it just makes a mess. It just makes a mess on everything, man. Any car you got sitting in here that runs and drives, or any, you know, propane grill or barbecue pit or TV or anything you got, is covered in dust and or overspray. And I didn't like that. So we had this extra spot next to the shop that was unused. And, you know, I looked online and I went with a company called Gatorback Carports. Found them on Craigslist at the time. And basically hired them to build this little room here. And, you know, I did make some mistakes on this. It's a 20-foot long by 15-foot wide. And at the time that I had this done, I was thinking, man, you know, everything that I've done has been frame off on the rotisserie or in pieces, and I don't need a full length. You know, if I could save $2,000 and cut 10 feet off, you know, I'll do that, or, you know, whatever. And man, was I wrong. I really wish that room was like 30 feet long, or at least 25, but maybe ideally 30, because then I could fit a whole car in there and spray a whole car at one time. Because now what you guys see is when we paint a whole car, we're painting it in the big shop, which is what I wanted to get away from. But I do all my small stuff, and I do all my primer work and some body work and some sanding, depending on the weather, in that room. So it does serve a purpose. I just wish it was longer. Maybe I'll extend it. I don't know. You know, it's kind of counterintuitive to do that, but yep, we added on the shop just for this car, and we added extra concrete and all that, you know, because I was like, man, I want a dedicated paint booth, like where I can spray and I don't worry about overspray landing, and I can get exhaust fans, I can put air condition, which I have, and you know, proper lighting and all this stuff, right? So I was amped up about that. So it's definitely been a journey, man. It's more than building cars. It's planning. It's providing, you know, space and time and room and equipment and all this other stuff that you guys see on the channel, man. So I think we're going to wrap this one up. We're creeping up on 20 minutes, man. So this is going to wrap up this way back Wednesday. I think where we're going to pick up next is we're going to start the body work on the 61, but just wanted to highlight the pictures that the guy sent me. And I know, you know, there's a lot of guys, I get a lot of messages, not a lot, but I get, you know, I get messages where people ask me for my opinion on what somebody's trying to sell them. And, you know, the pictures are blurry, or there is no pictures, or the video sucks and they don't show all this, or the video's like they walk around the car, it's a 10-second video. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, if you really want to sell the car, like, take some detailed pictures, like put the stuff out on the floor and show what you got. That's what I encourage. Otherwise, they're trying to hide something. So don't fall for it. You know what I mean? I'm open to, if you guys want to ask me, you know, I'll give you my honest opinion on what the stuff is worth. I can tell you right now, it ain't worth what they're asking. But we're going to leave that at that, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this way back Wednesday. Y'all stay tuned for the next one, man. Thanks for watching.